Hello folks, this is GingerLion. Welcome to my, I believe this is my 7th episode. Yep, my 7th episode, my Agrarian Skies playthrough. So, I've made a little bit of work. I've made 2 hardened energy cells since you've been gone. I also completely tore apart my resource creation process over here because I've decided it's time to relocate it and reconfigure it. I was overwhelming the process that I had. So I'm right now at the moment where I need to make myself another ender generator. So I don't exactly remember how to do that. Let me toss a lot of this stuff into my system, get it out of my hands. I'm not going to toss the hammers in because they can be a huge problem. But I've been doing some work on my basement. I will continue to do so next episode. Oh, I did want to show you one thing. I figured out what I was going to do in terms of my second layer of color, and that's this. I'm making colored bricks, and I'm making them in the white format. And I'm using those, I'm going to use those as the bottom layer. So I'm going to have a layer of border stone alternate. I'm going to have a layer, or 3 layers of that, 3 layers of the white stone, and then 1 layer of obsidian. That ought to protect me pretty well. So, anyway, I wanted the, oh, obviously I was over in my test world for a minute, just a second. Change this back. There we go. Now, I believe I need 2 of those in the process of making this and a block. Okay, furnace, No, I don't have any furnace, so I need a couple of those. I need blaze. I need iron. And I need some ender pearls. I've got a bunch of over here. I've also got a bunch in here, which I should take out because there's no reason to store ender pearls in multiple places. So now let's turn 2 of these into Eyes of Ender. I know you guys have seen me do this before, but that's fine. I'm only going to do it this once more on camera. Now, I think I am missing something in this recipe, and I'm not quite sure what it is yet. But, where is the recipe? Ah, 2 redstone, of course. If it's going to output power, it's going to need redstone. And this state of the redstone is actually why I decided to tear my entire thing down. I need to produce a system that, well, frankly, produces more of what I need. So, let's go arrange this a little bit. How much conduit do I have? I bet I'm out. Or have 1. 2. I really only need 2 pulverizers, so that ought to do it. Looks like I need to make another pulverizer. Machine frame, piston, redstone reception coil. So, let me do that off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so I've got part of this ready to set up, but I realized that I needed to, well, let me show you. So I've got this generator and these 2 pulverizers. And I would really like, well, see, the thing is that I need to produce a whole bunch, and I'm talking a whole bunch of, that's not where I want it. Oops. Where's my hammer? That doesn't pick it up. Yes. Extra utilities. Not necessarily 1,000% compatible. 100% compatible, but not 1,000. Okay, so, generator here. Go ahead and run 2 power lines like so. I should be able to put this pulverizer. How do I want to do this? I know how I want to do it. Like so. Okay, so I have some item ducts. And I'm going to pipe into the side of this. And I want the left side to be blue, which is perfect. This one I also want the left side to be blue. I want red to go out to... Wow. These are all like completely configured like I'd want them to be. So this is going to make cobblestone. This is going to make sand. And I'm going to need one more pulverizer before I'm done, because what I really want to sift right now is dust. I need redstone, and I need it pretty badly. So, let's start by configuring all this correctly. You are set like this, and I need some servos. Let me make a servo and another pulverizer, a couple of servos and another pulverizer, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so one more setup. This goes here. That goes there. I'm going to toss an ender pearl into here to get this whole thing started and charging. I'm going to toss another one in to bring it up to 40 minutes. Now, in each case, what I really want to do, I want to flip this to no connection. You are going to, well, why don't you just connect here? There's that line. That should fill this up with cobblestone. Yep. Now, I'm going to... Ooh, that is a problem. You know what? I know it's ugly, but I'm going to connect this like so. And break that. Because... Oops. Well, it's a whole bunch of cobblestone. You're already full. It's not that much. So, what I intend to do is this. Out the top of here is going to occasionally come some sand. Out the top of here is going to occasionally come some dust. I want those to end up in my output system along with the outputs from here. So what's going to happen is this pulverizes and it's going to make gravel and occasionally sand. This is going to make sand and occasionally dust. This is always going to make dust. That's what I want to feed into my sifting system. At least right now. I can change these anytime I like. The advantage of having set the output system this way is that all of these will output when I tell them to. So all I gotta do is come in here and, for example, if I want to sift gravel, all I gotta do is make this red and remove this. These two will stop running. They won't have anything to do because they won't be fed, and all of that will feed to my output system. So that should be good. Now I need my sifter, and I'd like a second sifter. I'm going to parallelize this process. And if I'm correct, the recipe for the sifter involves some string and some planks and some sticks. Okay, so now I set the last system up somewhat off camera, but I'm going to do this one completely on camera. That's not what I want. No. I want the sieve. There we go. That's the oak sieve. That's what I want. And the recipe for this is 2 silk meshes. Look in here. Recipe, bing, 2. Clear it out. Recipe. Perfect. Now, I would like my let's see, what exactly do I need now? I need the autonomous actuators. I want to leave 2 behind, which means I'm going to have 6 for each of my sifters. That sounds about right. So now these are going to be right over here. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Oop, I just put that in the wrong place. 2 of them. Well, one of them was in the right place. Okay, well. 4, 5. Oops. There we go. Pick those up. Now, I want a sifter right here. I want these 3 set to low. Okay, now that will sift pretty aggressively, and all I really have to do to fill it with stuff is to pick any one of these. Why don't I pick this top one up here? And I walk under this? Yes, I can. That's what I wanted to be able to do. Connect it to there. Now, theoretically, all of these should immediately begin piping their outputs into there. Come on, guys. Do I need to apply a redstone signal? I thought you guys automatically pushed out as soon as you found a valid inventory. Oh, that would be why. That needs to be blue. Now it's a valid inventory, and now these things are going to come out and fill in here. Good. That's what I wanted to see. Let's just see the items load in. There. So now, this will sift the sand and the dust. It's never going to receive anything but sand and dust because gravel's never going to be a byproduct, and the only time it's going to get sand is when it's a byproduct over here. So it's not going to be extremely common. And if I'm correct, that will overload that system. Good. That's what I wanted to see. Good, good, good. Now, the next piece of my build is I'm not going to upgrade this part of it yet, but I am going to use 2 of my hoppers, my vacuum hoppers. This is going to allow me to use 2 separate chests, so if one of them gets full, the other one will take over. Dink, dink. You 2 can go here, and you 2 can go here. Now, I would really like these chests to go. Let's see, can I set this whole system up in a nice tight enclosure like this? I probably can. Well, let's go ahead and put this here and here, and put a vacuum hopper here and here, and connect both of these vacuum hoppers to their requisite chests. Bang. That's all doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I really like it when systems do exactly what they're supposed to do. Now, if I'm correct, we're still going to overwhelm. Yeah, so this is moving faster than the system can handle. And that's fine. This is not producing ores fast enough for me to fill this up. I'm still going to set up the second one. That seems a little ludicrous, perhaps, but my intent is that at some point it will be able to. Once I'm able to produce enough power, I'm going to come over here and replace this power line and add 3 more pulverizers, and then I'll be able to utilize this entire system. So I'm really setting up for the future, and I like preparing for the future. So I think what I'm going to do is put this one here and set my three... Nope, can't go there. Can it? Yeah, it can. 3 autonomous activators, like so. It does make it a little hard to get to these chests from the front, but that's fine. I will primarily be accessing them from the back. Now, you guys are going to aim low. Oop, low. And I am going to run item ducts over to this one. Nope, not like that, I'm not. I hope that didn't try to push a bunch of cobblestone into here. It may very well have. We'll see in just a moment. And again, not like that. I guess there's our configuration choice. Not as pretty as I'd like, but it'll work. Now, we need to make use of these vacuum hoppers for more than just this. We also need our hammer-based pulverization system. So, that's what I left the 2 remaining autonomous activators for. Now, I've got all my hammers. Should be good for just a moment. So this is all set up and future prepared. So, what do I really want to do here? I would like... I don't want it here. There might be perfect. So, no, not quite perfect. Trust the vacuum hopper to steal anything that I break anywhere near here. It does do its job extraordinarily well. I think I'm going to waste a couple of item ducts and, and run this up over the top. I think I'll use this one instead. This one I never did configure anyway. So, break these. Reduces the confusion related to the cobblestone line. Take those 7. And I'd like to run them over the top of this, like so. There. That gets those lines well out of the way. Isn't it interesting that in my living room, while I'm recording this, I duck underneath this as I walk by? The things that happen when we get used to playing video games like they're real. That's fine by me, actually. More fun this way. Now, back to what I was trying to configure. I would like this facing up. And I guess I need a cobblestone block to put it on. I can just put it right here. And this facing that way. This is where I'm going to feed in the ores. This is the one that's going to end up with the hammers in it. So now it's time for me to deal with the hammers. Let me do it this way. The reason I changed this around, by the way, I'd like it closer to the vacuum hoppers, and I'd like to stop accidentally walking in front of this and having the hammers hit me. It's, well, frankly, it's extremely frustrating to be attacked by your own device. And I know that it's just trying to do its job, and it's doing it awfully well, but it doesn't change the fact that it's really painful. and really bothers me. Oh, Lord. How am I going to get up over there? Looks like I'm going to use this as a highway, and I'm going to need some torches. So, I want that there. The reason for putting these blocks in place, by the way, is I like this to be funneled either that way or that way, closer to the vacuum hoppers, so that I don't have a whole bunch of blocks just spewing all around the place. Instead, the vacuum hoppers are going to do exactly what they're supposed to do and pick things up, and there's not going to be a lot of extra random things flying around. More compact, better configured. So, now, I needed the... I need the... what is it called? I bet I can find it if I just scroll down through here. For some reason I can't remember what it's called. It's the thing that... there it is. The dolly. What a silly thing to forget. So, here is a barrel full of hammers. I now have it in my dolly. I am noted, slowed, and can't mine very well, but that's fine, because really what I'm doing is pushing a dolly full of barrels around the place. I mean, dolly full of hammers, not barrels. That's silly. So let's see. I can only pull out of the top of this, and I don't want to intersect with any of those, so I'm going to put this here. And I could probably save myself a lot of time by using that, but I'm going to use this anyway. Because, yeah, this... no, I'm going to switch... change my mind. That's my prerogative, I guess. So, pull these hammers out. You are going to accept... nope, not from that side. Accept from this side. Good. We can close this up while we're at it. Good. I'm going to fill you with hammers. I'm going to set this to left click, because that's what you got to do when you're smashing something with a hammer, is left click. It's aiming directly in front of us. That's aiming directly in front of it. Good. We're getting close. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. Now, before I mess anything up, I'm going to place this right next to this. And I'm going to put an item duct in right here. Finally, I made one too many. That's better than one too few. I'm going to set up a pneumatic servo right here. Set this to output. Clear my hands. And set this to ignored. Now this chest, I can open and put in anything that I want smashed by these hammers. Now, these hammers are supposed to output, and there's no real way I'm going to be able to test this until one of the hammers breaks, but theoretically, that should refill this with hammers every time it breaks. So now, I have a system that is currently pulverizing dust for me. It looks like this is just a little bit ahead, and that's fine. Let me check my generator. It's out of power, which means all three of these are cooking as fast as they possibly can, and not getting quite enough RF. Perfect. They're all sort of stabilized. And this system is now running in its new home. Good. Good. Well, there we go, folks. I've now transitioned this system over here, and that'll get me a lot more redstone, which is the thing that I'm currently short on, which is keeping me from just going out and making the system that I want to make. I need quite a lot of redstone conduits, and I don't at the moment have the capability of making as many as I want. So, I will wait for this system to process for a little while, and then I'll be right back when I can start building my power station. Okay, folks, so this is running, and it's producing me a reasonably large amount of redstone, which is good, because I've been staring at what I need to do, and I need a lot of redstone. But I've also figured out a way of optimizing it, so let me show you. If I were to make, for example, hardened energy conduits, they're going to take a redstone and a leadstone energy conduit, which is basically made from a redstone. So they're going to use 2 redstone each. If I bypass that and step up here and make the hardest of hardcore redstone energy conduit, which transfers the most energy, it also only takes 2 redstone. The only thing is, it takes some electrum and some hardened glass. Well, electrum's easy to make. It's just gold and silver. Let me show you. 1 gold, 1 silver makes 2 electrum. That's easy. I can do that in my casting table. The other thing that it requires in its construction is hardened glass. It also requires... Now, hardened glass is not that hard to make, except you need an induction smelter. And it's really just lead and some pulverized obsidian. Well, I've got a whole bunch of obsidian right here. That's one of the reasons I've been making it. So I've got this set up to export to the top, and I'm going to have this pulverizer just go ahead and beat the tar out of a whole bunch of obsidian. Now this, I'd like it set to input green from the bottom, and then all the rest of these are actually going to shut off. So let's go with still green from the bottom, and I want lead. I'm going to take a stack of it. Well, I want a whole bunch of glass. So now this is going to pulverize all the obsidian it can. This is going to come up here, and we're going to make hardened glass out of it. What else do we need in this process? This conduit. Well, to make this conduit, we need a fluid transposer, and to get the destabilized redstone, we need a magma crucible. So, let me show you. The fluid transposer, it's made of nothing we haven't seen before. Glass and bucket and machine frame and a reception coil and copper. Nothing complicated. However, the magma crucible is a different story. It requires nether brick. It needs 2 of them. Each nether brick requires 4 bricks of nether brick, each of which is made by smelting a netherrack. And the only way to make a netherrack, now remember we need 8 of these, is to toss redstone into an X-Dilo stone barrel full of lava. So, let me get the things that are needed to do that, and we'll go make ourselves some netherrack for smelting up. Let's see. I have enough redstone. Good. Do we have a barrel? No, I don't want that. I want a bucket. I have 6 buckets. That's nice. Now, let's take a look at the X-Nilo stone barrel. I'm going to take a stone slab, which is nothing more than this, and 6 stone. And I have plenty. So, let's go ahead and make ourselves 6 stone slabs, and we might as well make 6 barrels out of it. No reason to waste those slabs and just leave them in the inventory. There are 6 stone barrels. So I'm going to take them over here, where I have a readily accessible amount of redstone, of lava. Set these 3, that should be plenty. Get a bunch of extra stuff out of my inventory so that I can lay out 3 buckets and the redstone. And we go like this. Lava, 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 barrel, 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 redstone, redstone, redstone. Simple enough. There is a good chunk of what we need. And emptied that crucible of lava. Good. And I'm just going to make 9, and I'm going to cook up only 8 of them, because I'm sure there are other reasons to have netherrack around. And I'll stare at some in between. So now, we have the netherrack that we need. Let's go ahead and smelt it up. Clearly I was smelting some glass for these purposes. Now, let's come over here and see how this is going. I'd hate for it to stop just because I stopped paying attention. There's 48 glass, and that's down to 14 obsidian. Well, there's some more obsidian. Go to town. Now, there. Now, these craft like so to a pair of nether brick. And let's see if we have any machine frames. Nope. How about coils? Nope. So, what am I going to need? I'm going to need gold. I'm going to need iron. I'm going to need a bucket, which I've got. Let's see how close I am. I want the magma crucible. I'm going to need copper and a leadstone energy cell frame, which is going to involve some lead. So copper and lead. Done and done. So let's make this thing. Crucible. Magma crucible. Bing. One of these. Thank you. Next. One of these in this form. Thank you. And finally, one of these. That's expensive. Every time I make one of those, I made 2 already. Every time I'm like, wow, that's a lot of redstone. And that makes this. That makes this. Magma crucible produced. Now, I need to set this to output on this side and place this down. Now, it should be receiving power immediately, and I'm going to shut down all the configurations except the top, where it's going to do its outputting. And the last thing that we need is the fluid transposer. Theoretically, I should have everything I need in my inventory to make that, too. Let's go ahead and try it. 1. Need more glass. Do I have any more? Did I put any in here? I did. One fluid transposer. We are getting closer and closer. I can almost taste it. Now this is this side, I believe. Yep. This is cranking out power as fast as it can, but I'll tell you, it can't make it fast enough. At least this is maintaining a charge. That's a good sign. So, now this, I would like it to accept blue from the bottom. So I'm going to have it shut everything else off except blue from the bottom. So, now, we have this glass. We need more obsidian in here. Might as well put some in. And what do we have in terms of electrum? Only 4. Let's see what I can make. Why don't I put this in terms of a recipe? Here. Is that right? Nope, other way around. That's 12. That means I'm going to need 24 redstone to do this job. Now this is going to take a lot of power, so it's possible that I will crash out my ME system in the process. Oh good. I'm making so much more redstone. I might just survive this whole process. So, I need 24 melted. It's going to pass it up here, and that's going to fill these. Now, I need 60 as a minimum, so I'm going to make 120 of these. So, I'm going to go make myself some electrum so that I can make a couple more of these recipes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so, now, the last of that's bleeding out of the system. I can come over here. Make 2 stacks. That's 120 plus the ones that I already made. 132, that sounds good. So, now, I need... My reflexes fail me sometimes. That stack will allow me to complete these 60. That's going to drain a lot of power. Luckily, these energy cells are doing okay. I can't tell what the middle one's doing because I can't actually see it from there. Thump up on this. Oh yeah, it's half empty already. There. That will fill these up. Now, I need to go get 120 more redstone, which I'm pretty sure we don't have yet. No, we got 66, which is 33 of these. 34. So why am I making this gigantic pile of conduits? Well, like I said, I intend to run my generators off of gunpowder. And that means they're going to make explosions, both sound-wise and explosions that actually damage people. So I'm going to put some sound mufflers around them. But I want to make sure they're at least, say, 20 or 25 blocks off the edge of my base. And I think I'm going to go that way, because that's where I'm using my power right now, is over at this end, and then I can run the extra cables over here. But yeah, I want to make sure that they're far enough away that they don't make horrible booming noises all the time, and that they're not, I don't know, dangerous to my physical self. You're still running, aren't you? Yep, that magma crucible finished. Fluid transposer finished. I've got 64, so that's enough for me to get started on this project while I let this all recharge. So now I can finally make my dynamite generators. No, TNT generator. There we are. Blocks of iron, furnaces. I'm going to make, let's see, each one produces 80. At the moment, I'm having a hard time surviving on 2. I'm going to make, heck, I'm going to make 9. Let's make 9 of these. So 9 blocks, 9 furnaces, 9 blocks of iron. That shouldn't be too hard. No furnaces. Good. Now, let's clear this stuff out. That's 9 of those. That's 9 of those. And that's all 32 of those. Where's my dynamite generator recipe? It's going to take some redstone along with it. So let's go ahead and make what we can. Use. Shift click. There's 6. No, 6 is fine. I'll break down this iron block. If 6 is what I already had available, then we'll call that provenance and work from there. So, next thing that I want is to get rid of all these really valuable things just in case I fall in the process of what I'm about to do. Now, I need redstone energy conduit, and I think I'm going to... What am I going to use as a building material this time? Well, you know what? I don't want this ever to break. And so, I think obsidian just got volunteered. What can I make with obsidian that's slightly prettier than just plain obsidian? So if I recall correctly, over here is obsidian tile. And here is large obsidian bricks, and I get 8 from 1 stone brick. And I'm pretty sure I have some stone bricks at least. If not, I can make some. I only got 3. I've got 8 white colored stone bricks. I wonder if they'll work. Nope. Okay, so then. Stone becomes stone brick by doing that with it. So, make me a bunch of those. Large obsidian brick. I really can't tell. Oh yeah, I can. That's real pretty. I like it. So now let's start with getting the obsidian out of my inventory. Leaving just large obsidian bricks. Get rid of these. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. There's my conduit. And let's go. Oh, and my builder's wand. Now, I've never tried this, and I don't know if the builder's wand can handle what I'm about to try to do with it. I think I'm going to have to do a lot of this manually, but that's okay. So, oops. No, magnet mode. Guess I just collected some stuff anyway. Where do I want to do this? I think right here makes a lot of sense. You guys are broken down now. And I intend to lay out that and that, and I wish I had brought some torches for the moment, rather than let those become a mob spawning location. Place those there, go get myself some torches. I'm going to need more torches than that. So, I'm almost out of sticks. Nice, I finally used all those sticks up. Yep. So, planks. Out of planks. I am getting to the point where it's time for me to start thinking about a wood farm. But, not today. I mean, let's be fair, I just thought about it. I just didn't do anything about that thought. Because, well, you know, sometimes you just think there. That should do what I want. Now, this side, where my conduit is going to be run. I need to break that out of the way. That looks pretty good. And the question is, am I going to get... Yeah, I'm just going to get this. Okay. Is that because I'm holding shift? Yup. Okay. That's not so bad. 3, 4. So, I'm going to build this a little bit out into the void, and I'll come back once I feel like I'm at an acceptable location. And, you know, hopefully I live through it. Okay, so I got the little platform set up, and I put up my generators, and I ran a test, and we got a good explosion, so that's, I guess, a good sign. I put a sound muffler up here in hopes that it will reduce the noise. If it doesn't reduce it by enough, I'm going to come back here. Oh yeah, it reduces it considerably. Let me back off a little and see what happens. Is it still running? It is. Power level 80. Doing its thing. Good. So, theoretically, all that it takes now is me connecting power to everything. And here becomes the great, huge advantage to me having built a platform underneath this, is that I can now dig down underneath these things and deliver power this way. And that will allow me to get to more sides of these if I ever need to. So that is where my conduit is going to go and come up. So let me get down here and run my conduit. Okay. Now, conduit, conduit. Conduit, by partially filling the square that it's in, classifies as blocking that square. That's not what I wanted. And therefore fills it for lighting purposes. So you don't have to worry about it, about there being, you know, darkness down where conduit's running. That's a nice thing. So let's see. Bing. And there. Put that in place. Now those three are connected, and I can... Is this still running? I can't tell. It's still running. It's producing a little bit of power and feeding into these systems. I'll let it continue to do its thing until it's time for me to disable and disassemble it. Now, I can't go right underneath here, but I can go one block over. So let me remove this and do this. Yes, I am a little crazy. I think it comes with the territory. And I am going to make this efficient, I think the best thing that I can do is just replace this existing conduit, and later I can straighten out any other issues. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all connected. And now my preference is for the power to come to these things from underneath, so I'm going to waste conduit. This is part of why I made so much of it. I knew myself, and I know that if these things are going to be powered, it's going to be from down here. Is this the controller? It is. So this is the last location that absolutely must receive a conduit, and there's no reason for me to leave this trench in place now that I've fixed that stuff. So you know, given that I have a builder's wand in my hands, there's absolutely no reason for me to be doing this manually. Except masochism, which, you know, might be a valid reason. I do, after all, play modded Minecraft. So, there's that. Oops, that was a mistake. The builder's wand did too well for me, unfortunately. Now, let's get this connection going. I do so love the builder's wand. Notice I just click here and bang, it replaces all the missing blocks. So, this gets connected, and like so, and like so, and we fill in the slabs on the surface with the builder's wand. Now, it's time to light the system up. Now, I'm not 100% sure that all of them will get gunpowder. I've never actually played with a setup like this. These seem to receive power. They seem to receive an item and suck it in immediately, so it's possible that all I will get is 1 generator's worth of power out of this deal, and that it'll suck up all 40 stacks of my precious gunpowder. If so, well, then I'm glad that I'm only taking about 20 stacks. So let's go feed these into this barrel. There's 19 stacks, and it's pulling out stacks of gunpowder and sending them down the line. Now, I'm going to come down here just a little bit to see if explosions start to happen. Unfortunately, this item duct is not extraordinarily fast. So, let's see. Risky to jump up on this, but I'd like to see what's going on. I'm going to take some damage, almost inevitably, the moment this starts going. But I'd like to see if it absorbs 10 stacks and cranks up to 100 hours, or looks like it fills with a stack. Good. That means that all of those should be running relatively soon, and that means, theoretically, these should fill up to full power. All of these should now run at maximum instead of being partially throttled down, and this generator, which is almost empty anyway, has reached the end of its lifespan. Now, at the moment, let me go grab some conduits. Let's see if this has made 27 more. Nice. I am going to remove these 2, because I don't want them here. And quite frankly, all of those are powered from the bottom right now. Let me take a look at what's in these. These are totally breakable now. And what's in these? Also, that's removable. And that allows me to bring these conduits back into my hands. If I wish to lay things out, I will lay them out underneath. So, there you are, folks. Actually, there's two things that I intend to do because I'm a little bit, I don't know, maybe OCD is not the word, but I'm going to use it anyway. I like to have a buffer in the system. Oh no, you come back to me. And so this should be set up with blue on that side, and I would like it to be orange on the bottom. So what that's doing is it's pulling in RF from the back and outputting it to the bottom. So this is a buffer. If the generators stop running, this will continue to power the system until the generators run out. It has a disadvantage in that it's only capable of transmitting the power of 5 of those 6 generators. So, eek. I don't like that. So instead I'm going to do something a little bit different, not as automatic, but nevertheless going to be extremely useful. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put down these 2 energy cells, and I'm going to set them to blue on the side facing their power input. What that means is that these 2 are going to fill with power. So, if I ever find myself in a situation like I do here, look, I have no gunpowder left in here. It's possible that that's because a bunch of stacks are bouncing their way back because they were completely overfilled and that they'll stuff this. That's fine. But I have no gunpowder. So, if my system runs out of gunpowder and stops running, I've got a serious problem. All of my systems shut down. What does that mean for me? Well, what it really means is that I come and grab those energy cells and put them in as a temporary measure while I figure out what to do next, which is probably put the ender generators back in. But, there. Now I have a power system that I feel like I can rely on just a little bit more. I'm going to let this continue to do its thing and drain out its power. It's clearly being used up by these machines, and they're just taking a little bit of extra from down there. That's good. I'm happy with that. So, let this run. Let me see. How is it doing now? And it seems to be keeping that full. And is it doing it enough? Well, we'll find out, because if it is, then this doesn't have anything in it. Not yet. So, we are not completely out of the woods in terms of resource production, but we're getting close. So, I'm going to disappear for a little bit, folks, and I'll be right back when I grab my next project. Okay, folks, so that pretty much wraps up the episode. I just sort of moved a couple of machines around to over here and whatnot. I spent a little bit of time after shutting them down, going out there and setting up some more note blocks, sound mufflers in an attempt to make this quiet. And things seem to be moving pretty good. I think I'm going to come in here and maybe set up a couple more pulverizers between here and next episode, just to make sure my system is running at maximum efficiency. And then I think it's about time for us to begin moving on to the next major project, which for me is a whole bunch of farming. Animals, vegetables, minerals. Well, I guess I already got mineral farming going, to be fair. Okay, I see you guys next time.